what if the greatest measure of our resilience is not whether we fall, but how quickly we can turn our pain into a gift? So the gap between the pain and the gift, that is called the hindsight window. I am Anna, and I am here to introduce you to this concept that was introduced to me by Eric Edmeades. So for example, my husband came last weekend telling me that he couldn't find a parking slot. He went around the blocks like 1 time, 2 times. The level of frustrations started going up, up, up. He was very annoyed. 3rd time, 4th time, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Finally, 18 minutes later, he got it. He found a parking slot. So he parked there. He closed the door. And as soon as he goes out of the car and closes the door, someone in the street passes there that actually was his friend and that he haven't seen him like in a long time. And he was like, whoa, I didn't expect to see you. And he immediately understood that that was the reason that he couldn't find this parking slot. Okay? So the time between his frustration and that he found his friend, this is the hindsight window. And this is a quick example, but today what we want to understand is how we can actually hack on our future experiences, on our present experiences, and our past experiences. So for that, I'm going to tell you a story. So my oldest son is 19 years old, but when he was around 12, he was just in the adolescence. He was starting with all this emotion war in his head. And myself, I was starting to be, for the first time, an adolescent mom with no knowledge about it. So we had this relationship, but that was not going well. All the time when he talked to me and I go back, or when I talk to him, he answered me back with the voice, with higher, louder. So it was not nice. And we have a bad relationship on that time, I would say. And my husband, sometimes he had to intervene and tell me, calm down, and tell him, calm down. And he will go to his room and close his door. And I will go to mine and close my doors. And I said, I just can't handle this. And I will ask my husband help. And maybe he will also lose her patience as well. So it was a situation that was not the best for us. And it was for a long time. So I realized I needed to do something about it. So I started actually in coaching. And in this process, I learned how to handle emotions. I was just in my week of how to handle emotions and how every person has a different perspective. And that was very interesting for me. And I was just listening. And suddenly, I got an email from the school saying that my son had misbehaved and be unrespectful with his teacher, and that it had been like a huge problem in the school because of that. So he was still in school. My husband got this email as well. And in a normal situation, this will head directly to punishment, to have loud voice between ourselves, not speaking for maybe a couple days. And yeah, it was crazy. So, but this time I told my husband, please stop, let me talk to him first. So he didn't intervene in this situation. So he came, my son came from the school. He went inside that room and I came after him and I said, Alejandro, I got this email. What happened? And he was like, Arr! And I said, please, I need to hear from you. Tell me what happened. So he actually starts telling, I did this because the teacher did this and this and this and this, and my friends did this and this and this and this, and I was the only one that was affected because this and this and this and this and blah 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 blah. And I said, okay, what did you did wrong? And he was, I know that I did misrespect him, but it was not my fault, and he was still in that situation. So I just start listening, asking questions, no judging at all. And I said, okay, what are you going to do about it? What do you want to do about it? And he was again like trying to explain himself, saying why there was injustice in his school and that why this teacher, he believes it was only against him. And okay, so what are you going to do about it? And finally, after like 20 minutes monologue from him, because I was only giving questions, he decided that he was going to go next day to school and said that he was sorry. Okay, I said, perfect. Let me know how it goes. And that was it. I didn't say you're punished, you don't know, nothing. And he just looked at me and said, okay, I will do that. And that was it. And then next day, he came back and he says, Mom. I said, yeah. So I talked to the teacher. I said I was sorry. And I want you to know that. But the most important thing that I want you to know is that I'm so grateful with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for that. And that sentence made like a huge change in me. It was like, wow. It changed everything. It changed actually our relationship. From there on, like we have been like very close, and he can tell me things and I can tell him what he wants to listen, or whenever he wants to listen, he will ask for advice, and he can ask me for a hug, and it has been great. And what happened there? I biohack the present, because the usual cycle would be he telling us something, we get angry, he getting angrier, and like this, and it will be like such a problem. But I hacked the present, biohacked the present, and I made one decision. I am not going to act this way, I'm going to act this other way. And it actually worked. It changed everything. And that is how you apply the hindsight window in the present. Only one decision. Okay? So, now we are going to another story. This is back in around 1998. I am coming back from a trip from Europe to Ecuador. Okay? And to go to Ecuador, we stay in Bogota, in the airport of Bogota. So that's our stop. I had to stay maybe like 4 hours in the Bogota airport. So we had to go out and went to this the waiting room. And I was just reading and very curious about the people around me and everything okay. And there was this group of ladies, very nice ladies that all dressed up and that were waiting just for the plane to come and like that. And I said, okay. When the lady from the airline comes and take the microphone, I said, I am sorry to say, but the weather in Quito is not nice, so the flight is delayed for around 2 hours. And it was like, oh no. This woman got so angry and they were starting, no, it can't be. They went there to talk to the lady. But then I also had a decision to make. What can I do about it? Shall I be angry or what can I do? I decided to enjoy. Actually, I was enjoying because when I saw these ladies starting to say, we want to go back, it made me a smile. It drew me a smile in the face because I said, it's impossible. So it was funny for me to see someone that tried to do something that can't be done. So I was smiling, enjoying, looking, also reading. And during that time, there was this person that comes from somewhere, from the crowd, and that was from Argentina and could be my father, and said, so what is your name? And I say, I'm Ana. And you? He says, I'm Jose Luis. Oh, nice to meet you. And he sits in my side and starts talking to me and tell me that his daughter is almost my age and it would be nice for us to get together. And I said, that will be great. And he started asking me what I was studying, where I was heading, where did I come from. And it was a nice conversation. And then the lady from the airport comes back again and said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that the airport in Quito is closed. So there is no plane going there today. So for everybody here, we'll have to spend the night in that hotel. Please approach so we can give you the tickets, blah, blah, blah. And I was, oh, okay. these ladies, you can't imagine how frustrated they were. They were, no, you gotta put us in another plane. We need to get there at this time. This can't be. Well, of course, I have someone to laugh with because now I have a friend. And we actually did enjoy and have a great time that evening. We went to the hotel. We have a nice dinner. We have a very, very nice time. And the next morning, we went early into the airport and back to Quito. And then we said goodbye. He said he was going to write. I said, great. And so he did, like once every 3 months, maybe, just a mail to say, how are you doing? I might be there in a couple months. I will let you know. And then it goes 1 year. And after 1 year, he wrote me and he says, okay, so I want you to invite you. Can you come at this time to this address? And I said, sure. So I went to see where was he and to meet him again, to find out that I was getting to an office, a really nice office in a really nice building, and to find out that this Jose Luis, this person that I met in the airport 1 year before, was actually the owner of a huge company in Argentina, and that was opening his company in Ecuador. And he was inviting me because he saw something in me. And this is the place where I worked for almost 10 years and where I made my really great friends of life that I actually call them family, you know? So that decision in the airport of being angry or annoyed because I couldn't fly back to my country, or just having fun and changing the moment, actually gave me a great opportunity, you see? And that is biohacking your present. Because you can decide to be annoyed or frustrated or angry for anything, traffic, anything. But you can also decide otherwise and do something about it and just change it. And it will actually change your state, your emotions. And that is really, really helpful. And you never know what can happen when you are open with these emotions, okay? And now we are going to another story that I want to tell you. And this is when I was 12 years old. 12 years old. I was at school. I was a happy learner. I loved to read. And there was this book called El Príncipe y el Mendigo, The Prince and the... I can't remember how to say that in English. But anyway, this book I loved. And the school says, okay, there is this contest of a speech contest about the book. So we needed to read the book, and then we needed to talk about it in front of an audience that will be all the school, primary school, all the teachers and the parents. And I went and I said, okay, I'm going to sign in for that, because I was really into it. In that time, I didn't know about speech or anything or whatever. So I just decided that I wanted to be part of it. And I actually enjoyed my reading and going back and forward with my book and getting to make my summary and trying to get the points and the lessons and everything. And I was so ready. I was preparing. I was actually trying to go through my speech. But 3 days before the speech was done, my teacher comes with a book and with some papers. And he says, I am sorry to tell you that you won't be able to give this speech. You will have to do your speech with this book, this new book. But don't worry, you don't have to work on what you're going to say. I did that for you too. So he gave me like a two pages with some text that was like not actually a summary, but something, I don't know, something that was for my speech. And I couldn't understand why. I said, why? Why are you doing this? And he said, I'm sorry, but we can't do anything because there is another student that has your book and you can't both go with the same book. Afterwards, of course, I understood why, because this other student was the daughter of a teacher. And of course, I didn't have the preference. But anyway, I had in my hand a book that I had to do for 3 days, to read it in 3 days, and actually a paper that I have to memorize as he told me to. So I did. I was a 12-year-old. What shall I do? I wasn't that strong to say, no, I'm not doing it. And of course, it was a mess. Of course, I went in front of so many people. My other friends, my classmates, everybody. And I think that in the second line, I forgot. I just started saying whatever it came to my mind. It was such a mess. And of course, it left something inside me. And now, 20 years and a little bit more after, I think about that because I wasn't able to see why. But knowing the concept of the hindsight window makes me think, okay, there's something good has to be grateful about it. And I got it. You know, my hindsight window, more than 20 years, well, I got it. What did I learn from that? I learned that all of us have a single voice, that we have the right to speak from our heart, not from others, but from ourselves, that we are unique, that we deserve to be treated in justice, and that we need to learn to talk when it is not okay. But now I'm learning this, so this is almost more than 20 years afterwards. So this is just an example to make you understand that the hindsight window can be measured in such a long time. What opportunities have it taken out from me? Probably I have always wanted to speak in front of people, to say what I think, to show what I learn. I know that I want to do that. I know that I am ready to do that. But I wasn't, because probably that was blocking me. But now that I understand, I am here talking to you and telling you, go back to your past experiences and try to understand them from another point of view. Because if you do understand them, it is a life changer, a game changer. Why? Because anything that has happened in our lives has a reason to be. Anything that have happened in our life is because of something. I am here because all my past experiences. And it can be as painful as it could be, but it made you who you are. And you gotta be what you are and be thankful for that. So gratitude is very important. And going back and understanding the whys, not the whys, that what force is match, what for. You know, this happened because of a reason. So, in conclusion, we have been able to hack our future because we go before, to hack our present because we decide in the moment, and to hack the past because we go back, we understand why, and we move forward in gratitude. And these three ways of handling the hindsight window will make you more resilient. So remember, as the most resilient you are, the shortest is your hindsight window. And having this concept in your mind will help you understand this better. Okay, so now it's up to you. Thank you a lot. This is Anna, and I hope to see you again.